two people have an argument and it's like, you never help me with housework. How dare you say that? No, you know, I can't think of the last time you helped me with the last. You're such a lazy person. How dare you call me lazy? You've told me, you've gave me your word, you'd never call me lazy. Ah, well, whatever. How dare you call me lazy? Right, I can't talk to you anymore. Slam the door, and they go into separate rooms in the house, right? And the logic over here is, you know, all I did was I asked for some help and, you know, the person's really, really lazy and then thinking over here, they said they'd never call me lazy. My father called me lazy and I hate that word. I never say that to anyone. And he gave me his word or she gave me her word. They'd never call me lazy. And here they are calling me lazy. And then over minutes, it modifies. It's like, oh, I hate this stage. I hate this stage in our arguments. I wish it would just be over. I wish I could find a solution. I wish I could hit rewind and take back what I said. Oh, well, maybe I need to pull my weight a bit more. Maybe I am a bit sort of slack, you know. And so it sort of modifies over minutes. And one or the other goes, I know what I'll do. I'll make a cup of tea. And the other person, so this person goes out and makes a cup of tea. There's all rattling kettles and pots and all that sort of stuff. Cups and saucers. And the person in here goes, oh, I know what's happening. The cup of tea's coming. That always helps. Yeah, and then we talk about the real issue because this isn't the issue. There's something else that's the issue. It's not about laziness and the jobs. There's something else going on for us. And eventually we'll get to talk about that. So the person comes in with a cup of tea and they have what I call is an authentic attempt to repair. So they offer the cup of tea and they say, I'm very sorry for how I spoke to you and I bought you a cup of tea. And the person goes, you know I hate that cup. What I explain to people, who, let's say couples, I'll say, look, you need to know about the amygdala. The amygdala is part of the primitive brain. It's sort of like the reptile brain. And then as people have, you know, through the ages, what's evolved is the more complex mammalian brain. But the amygdala triggers, it's kind of like the threat center. So it determines whether something is a threat or non-threat. And when it gets triggered, it takes about maybe 30 to 40 minutes to de-escalate from it, right? And what I really, really encourage people to do is to say something like, look, I'm really getting a sense that I'm getting quite distressed by this conversation and I do want to talk to you. It's very important, but would you be willing to postpone it? Because then I can come back when I'm a bit more relaxed and I'll probably take in more effectively what you're telling me. So would you be willing to postpone? Now, I always encourage that they use the word postpone, because if they say, I can't talk to you, what the person who's agitated thinks is, I can't talk to you ever. And that, what does that do? It triggers the amygdala even more. So postpones is, this is important, let's set it aside, come back when we're a bit more rational, a bit more relaxed, because the amygdala triggers this threat, fight, flight response. What happens with conflict is that people stop taking the risk and they turn away. It's easier. They do that because it's unpleasant. Being in conflict generates a lot of anxiety. It's really, really hostile sort of internalizing experiences that they find unpalatable. So the way they cope with that is they avoid it and they stop communicating. They stop taking risks in terms of repairing something. And what happens is that a theory generates in the other party's mind. The theory might be, they don't like me, or look at what they're doing. You know, they've kind of, they're pushing me away or they're turning away from me. And then they develop a theory and then they look for evidence to validate the theory. And guess what? They find it. And the theory is, it's easier to stop talking than to take a risk and go closer to the problem.